Guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you step by step how I painted this with some leftover paint on my palette from all of the other tutorials that I filmed today. So I'm taking a large round chalk brush. This is 2 to 3 inches. I've got blue, pink, and luminous rose on my brush, a little bit of white. I'm just going to swirl my brush into all those colors and create a swirly pattern across the canvas, letting those colors kind of just fall and blend where they do while I twist and kind of just manipulate my brush around. Now I've got another brush. This is just a large Filbert brush, just another brush for blending, just for smaller spaces like this top right corner. I've got my warm colors now, neon orange, some more neon pink, and some white, maybe even a little bit of yellow in there. So I'll take some more white. I'm going to load my brush up again, and I'm not washing it out. I want a hint of all those colors, so I'm going to get a few areas where it's going to be a little bit of what you would call muddy tones. I want that. I want to have a few areas that look sort of grayish, brownish, earth tones mixed with all these other pretty colors that we're adding here. It's a very nice balance to have. So it's just like how you would doodle around and create like an abstract on some paper or canvas for fun. I'm doing that with all of this leftover paint. I hate wasting paint, so I just wanted to show you guys sometimes what I like to do with my leftover paint, and I tend to like to do some really intuitive, abstract, flowy, whimsical art. And this is something really simple, easy to do, no matter what skill level you are, you guys can do this. So we've got our basic shape of our flowy pattern that we want here in the background. Now with a clean Filbert brush again, or any blending brush, I'm just pulling back and forth, creating some sun rays. It kind of looks like tie-dye. I think it looks really neat, and it's very like blended, almost like oil paint or oil pastels. That's because I'm painting wet on wet, so it's kind of smearing everything, making it look blurry and really pretty. So now I'm going to go over with a little bit more paint, a little bit white here, and I'm just going to continue layering and just having fun coming up with this background. You really can't go wrong when doing a forest landscape like this. It's really easy, very beginner friendly and suitable. So I've got a large dry blending brush. I'm just kind of dusting over, barely touching that canvas, making everything look really soft and blurry. Now coming in with a large flat brush and some more of my luminous rose and white. And if you don't have these neon colors, don't worry guys, just use the next brightest colors that you have. This luminous rose is really close to quinacridone violet or magenta. Now I'm going to take some more of my warm colors. I've got some white and some orange left there, so I'm going to pull and smear and just spread that, creating a little flowy hill line down here at the bottom and the base. And now I'm going to start pulling in some lighter sun rays. I want it to feel like the sun is just coming up over the mountain here, over the hillside, and that's where I want our eyes to be drawn. So I'm going to load my brush up again with more titanium white, no water. I don't need any water. The paint underneath is still wet enough that this will easily spread. And I'm going to come in with a thick amount of paint on the end of my brush and start painting in some trees here, just really thick and heavy snow-covered trees, just the way I like them. And I'm not even painting the tree trunk first. You don't need to do that. I like to show you guys different ways of how I paint trees, just to give you some different alternatives and suggestions. So you can just load that paint on, tapping side to side, pushing a little bit more down on the brush when you want to have that fuller, thicker looking branch, and then let off on your brush when you want smaller ones. So it's really about, not always about the type of brush you're using, but how you're using it, what part of the brush you're using, and the amount of pressure that you add. So I want the larger trees to be over towards the right side, and then I'm going to make them look smaller and smaller as they veer towards the left side, where we have that hill going over and the sun coming up. So it's going to kind of give that perspective that it's a little bit farther away, like those trees are going down and getting smaller and smaller. I thought that would really look neat and make for an interesting perspective and feel to this painting. I'm purposely using more paint for some of the trees. This gives you a little bit more of a highlight, closer, more in focus feeling, and then less paint for ones that you want to have out of focus. So it's a good idea to have a combination of both, just to make your painting a little bit more 3D and more interesting. You can't have every single thing in your painting in full focus, otherwise it just won't work. It'll be a little bit too much to look at. You'll kind of lose that feeling. So think about when you're taking photographs too. It always looks really interesting and nice when the background is blurry and you have a flower or whatever you're focusing on more detailed and crisp and focused in the foreground. Or vice versa. Sometimes it looks neat to blur the foreground and focus on something in the distance. I think you guys get what I'm saying. So the light is on the trees, and I decided to make this more in shadow. I think this looks really neat, plays on the contrast and creates even nicer balance of light. It helps draw our eyes in more to the light and focus on that. So I'm just taking my phthalo blue. I've got lots of that left on my palette, so I may as well use it. And then now I'm just coming in with a little liner brush, and I thought I'd pull in a few little lines here and there for the hint of some tree trunks maybe at the base. I'm going to take my hairdryer in a minute and just start to dry the paint off a little bit while I'm painting. Sometimes I do that if I'm in a hurry or just a certain technique that I want to do, but it's usually if I'm in a hurry for one area to dry. I'll and if I've got a thick amount of paint in one spot that I need to spread out and dry off quicker, I'll kind of do two things at once, multitask here. So you can see I'm kind of just pulling and spreading that paint around with a little flat brush while I'm drying it off. So that just took a few seconds. And now I'm going to just keep coming in and adding more and more to my sky for these sun rays. A little bit later on, I pulled in another sun ray and I accidentally smeared a little bit of the paint on my tree. You can see right here, it actually looks really pretty like that. So I wish that I kept filming while I did that. But this video was so short, I wasn't even going to share this, but I thought you guys might find it interesting. So it's really short. I thought I would fill the end of this video with some more of my newer winter acrylic landscapes, and these are all tutorials. You'll find them all in my winter and Christmas themed playlist. You can just kind of scroll through on my channel and see them. They're full tutorials, each one of these for you guys. So have fun, Merry Christmas, happy painting, and I'll see you next time soon in another video. Take care, guys. Bye.